Okay, so artificial intelligence is pretty much everywhere. We all hear about it constantly. But today, we're going to go a little deeper and ask a really basic question. How does it actually learn?
So think about it. An AI learns to write a sonnet, and you learn to ride a bike. You're both learning, but is it really the same thing going on under the hood? Well, the answer is a big, fascinating no. And honestly, understanding that difference is absolutely crucial for figuring out how we're all going to live with this tech.
All right, first things first, let's start with the learning machine we're all experts on, the one right between our ears. To really get a handle on AI, we have to appreciate just how amazing the human brain is. You see, human learning isn't just some abstract concept. It's physical, it's biological. There's this incredible word for it, neuroplasticity. Every single time you learn something new, your brain is literally, physically changing. It's rewiring itself. I mean, even a skill that seems super simple, like using a spoon, involves billions of your brain's connections shifting and getting stronger. Your brain is basically in a constant state of renovation.
And this whole process, it's not just random. We actually follow this natural loop. It starts with an experience, right? Then we reflect on it, we think about what happened. From that, we form some kind of idea or a concept, and then we go out and test that new idea in the real world. That cycle, experience to knowledge, is running for all of us, all the time.
Now, here's a wild idea. One of our biggest learning strengths is actually forgetting. It sounds wrong, but it's true. It's a concept called generative forgetting. Unlike a computer which tries to hoard every single piece of data, our brain actively prunes information. It throws out the details that don't matter so it can build a super efficient model of the world that actually works.
So this is the really key takeaway for us humans. We don't just learn by connecting a bunch of data points. We learn by connecting the rich, messy, continuous lines of our actual lives, you know? Everything that's full of context and emotion and sights and sounds.
So, okay, if that's how we do it, what about the machines? Let's switch gears and pop the hood on the AI learning machine. It's a completely different philosophy, built from the ground up.
At its absolute core, AI learning is just a massive mathematical search party. You give it an input, let's call it X, maybe a sentence in English, and you give it the output you want, Y, that same sentence, but in French. The AI's whole job is to find the perfect mathematical equation, that F, that can turn X into Y every single time. Its knowledge isn't memories, it's just billions of numbers called parameters or weights.
And this leads us to AI's most incredible, world-changing superpower, transfer learning. Think about this. When a human genius dies, their unique way of thinking is gone forever. It's personal. It dies with them. But when an AI model learns something, its entire brain, all those billions of mathematical weights, can be perfectly copied and pasted to millions of other AIs in a second. It's like cloning Einstein's mind and giving it to the whole world. So, if we connect the lines of experience, AI connects the dots of data. It sifts through these astronomical mountains of information just to find statistical patterns. It's not living a story. It's analyzing data points. It's a totally different way of seeing things.
And because these approaches are so different, the resources they need are wildly different too. Let's talk about the fuel that these two types of intelligence run on. 175 billion. And no, that is not a typo. That is the number of parameters. You can think of them as tiny little adjustment knobs that a model like GPT-3 has to get just right. Every single one helps define something it knows, and tuning all of them requires just an unbelievable amount of data. And now for the other side of the coin, 20 watts. That's it. That is the power of a dim little light bulb. And it's also the amount of energy your brain is using right this second to process what I'm saying. The gap in energy efficiency here, it's not just big, it is absolutely mind-blowing. So let's just lay it all out there. We learn through our senses, from rich experiences. Using this incredibly efficient biological machine, AI learns from enormous, carefully prepared datasets using power-hungry computer servers. They are just fundamentally different designs, each with its own set of pros and cons. Which brings us to what might be the most important question of all. What's actually happening inside? Is an AI really thinking, or is it just calculating? Look, both humans and AIs can generalize, but we get there from opposite directions. A little kid can see maybe 2 or 3 dogs and get the whole idea of dog. They understand the why. An AI has to see millions of pictures of dogs just to learn the statistical patterns of what a dog looks like. We generalize from context,
AI generalizes from massive amounts of data. So when an AI seems to be reasoning its way through a problem, it's not using logic like a person does. There's a brilliant name for this: statistical overthinking. Basically, the AI has seen billions of examples of human writing, and it has learned the pattern of what a logical argument looks like. It isn't actually having a thought, it's just statistically recreating the most plausible-sounding sequence of words. It's a phenomenal imitation, but it is still an imitation.
So, what does this all mean for us? If AI doesn't learn or think like we do, is it our competitor, or is it something else? Well, the most helpful way to look at this is probably as a partnership.
And it works so well because we're like a perfect complementary pair. AI is the absolute champion at processing huge amounts of data, finding those hidden patterns we could never see, and answering the what and how questions. And that frees us humans up to do what we've always done best: think critically, be creative, understand the big picture, ask why, and make those really tough ethical calls.
And that really leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? We have built this incredible machine that has mastered the what, but we as humans still own the why. So the real challenge and our greatest opportunity is to decide, what should we ask it to do next?